Another day, another story. Welcome to our YouTube video on how to store tomatoes for long and the best way to preserve them. Tomatoes are a popular fruit that adds flavor, color, and nutrition to a variety of dishes. However, storing them properly can be a challenge, and they can spoil quickly if not handled correctly. In this video, we'll show you the best ways to store tomatoes to keep them fresh for longer and the different methods of preserving them so that you can enjoy them year-round. Whether you're an experienced home cook or just getting started, these tips will help you make the most of your tomato harvest and reduce food waste. So, let's get started. Tomatoes are a delicious and versatile fruit that can be enjoyed in a variety of dishes. However, they can spoil quickly if not stored properly, which can result in waste and loss of flavor. In this video, we will discuss the best way to store tomatoes for long-term use and how to preserve them. How to store tomatoes for long. Room temperature storage. If you plan to use your tomatoes within a week, store them at room temperature. Tomatoes are sensitive to cold temperatures and will not ripen properly in the fridge. Keep them in a single layer, stem side down, in a cool, dry place out of direct sunlight. Refrigerator storage. If you have more tomatoes than you can use within a week, you can store them in the refrigerator. Wrap each tomato individually in a paper towel and place them in a plastic bag or container with a lid. This will help to absorb excess moisture and prevent them from spoiling. However, keep in mind that refrigerated tomatoes may lose some of their flavor and texture. Freezing. If you have a surplus of ripe tomatoes, you can freeze them for later use. Start by washing and drying the tomatoes. Then, remove the stem and core and cut them into quarters or halves. Place them in a single layer on a baking sheet and freeze for about an hour. Once they are frozen, transfer them to a freezer-safe bag or container and store in the freezer for up to 6 months. The best way to preserve tomatoes. Canning. Canning is a popular way to preserve tomatoes for long-term storage. To can tomatoes, start by washing and blanching them in boiling water for about 1 minute. Then, remove the skin and core and pack them into sterilized jars with a tablespoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of salt per quart of tomatoes. Process the jars in a water bath canner for 45 minutes for pints and 85 minutes for quarts. Drying. Drying tomatoes is a great way to concentrate their flavor and preserve them for long periods. To dry tomatoes, start by slicing them into 1/4 inch thick rounds. Arrange the slices on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and sprinkle with salt and herbs of your choice. Then, dry them in a 200 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 6 to 8 hours or until they are dry and chewy. Freezing. Freezing is another easy way to preserve tomatoes. Start by washing and drying the tomatoes. Then, remove the stem and core and cut them into quarters or halves. Place them in a single layer on a baking sheet and freeze for about an hour. Once they are frozen, transfer them to a freezer-safe bag or container and store in the freezer for up to 6 months. In conclusion, storing and preserving tomatoes requires some effort, but it's worth it to enjoy their delicious flavor year-round. By following these simple tips, you can keep your tomatoes fresh and flavorful for longer and ensure that none go to waste. Thanks for watching our video on how to store tomatoes for long and the best way to preserve them. We hope you found these tips helpful and informative. Remember, proper storage and preservation can make a big difference in the taste and texture of your tomatoes, and can help reduce food waste. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Don't forget to leave us a comment below with any questions or additional tips you may have. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.